Faith in God takes your relationship with Him to the next level. Take, for example, David, through the power of God and his faith, slaying Goliath. Without practicing your faith, everything pretty much just stays the same. Hi, and welcome. An act of faith can change your life. Not only your life, but the lives of thousands of other people. Take Jonathan, for example. He, also like David, shows a high level of faith and trust in God, and also bravery. Therefore, they have very similar personalities, which is not difficult to understand why they get along so well in the Bible. Jonathan shows a lot of faith and bravery. Now, Israel, under the leadership of Saul, was about to go to war with the Philistines. And Jonathan, with his armor bearer, was right next to the Philistine camp. And it is said that the Israelites, out of fear of the Philistines, had hidden themselves under rocks, in thickets, in dens, and every other place which you could ever imagine. And there was fear in the land. Now Jonathan, with his armor bearer, was right next to the camp of the Philistines. Now he says to his armor bearer, "Let us go over to the garrison of the Philistines. Perhaps the Lord might deliver them over to the hands of Israel. For it is easy for the Lord to deliver with many or few." Now this is a high level of faith and also bravery. He's willing to go to the garrison of the Philistines along with his armor bearer, who also displays a high level of bravery himself. Now, this is actually a remarkable level of trust and faith in God. Remember, David also displays a high level of faith in God when he actually slays Goliath. I mean, this man Goliath is much more physically superior to David, who is just a youth. And this guy's been a soldier all his life. And here is Jonathan actually going to the garrison of the Philistines with his armor bearer, while the rest of Israel has actually hidden itself and is deep in fear of the Philistines. Before Jonathan goes down to the garrison, he says to his armor bearer, "If they say to us, 'Let us come to you,' we will stand still. But, however, if they say, 'Come down to us,' we will go down to their garrison, and it will be a sign to us from God that He has delivered the Philistines into our hands." So Jonathan approaches these Philistines along with his armor bearer, and the odds are against them. But God, because of the faith that he actually practices, is with him. And the Philistine camp is thrown into confusion, and they slay a number of men. Now the rest of the army, which had stayed behind, realize that Jonathan is not among them. And soon they find out that he has actually gone to the Philistine camp. They muster the courage that they need and actually march on towards the Philistine camp and rout their army. The Philistine army flees, and God grants, through Jonathan, a great victory for the Israelites, similar to the victory that God grants David when he defeats Goliath in battle. A man who is a seasoned and hardened soldier and veteran of war, a toughened soldier, while David is just simply a youth. Perhaps this is what God wants us to do in our lives. Of course, not go look for one of the toughest and meanest looking people out there and challenge them to a battle. No, that's not what I'm saying. Perhaps He wants us to involve Him in our battles in life. It could be something which you find very intimidating at work or in your daily life, that He wants you to actually bring that problem to Him and actually face it together with Him. It doesn't matter how huge the problem is or how intimidating the situation is, but go in there with that mindset and that faith that God is going to deliver me, that God is a faithful God, and is a God of might. Even though the odds are stacked against me, let me just go and just try and actually see. Perhaps He might deliver this issue into my hands. The same way in which God actually delivered the Philistines into the hands of the Israelites. After all, this is what God is. Is it not supposed to show His might and power and godliness in situations which seem beyond our control? Situations that seem lost, that we can do nothing about. This is when we're supposed to practice our faith. Perhaps sometimes He might not even act the way we want Him to act. After all, He is God. But let us give Him the space and the ability for Him to act in our lives, to behave as He will, to save us the way He would want to save us. After all, we have entrusted ourselves to Him. Let's trust Him that He has our best interest at heart and will act like a father who loves us, always with our best interests at heart. So, until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.